So students, now we have seen the explanation of the circuit diagram for this experiment, that is to conduct direct load test on 3-phase induction motor. In part 1 we have seen the explanation of the circuit diagram. In part 2 we have seen how the experiment is actually performed and how the readings are taken. Now with these available readings, how to make the calculations and to draw the graph, that we will discuss in today's lecture. So to start with, I have taken one sample example, one reading which particularly for a load. What observations we have taken? On motor side we have noted input voltage, input current V1, I1, then two wattmeters readings W1 and W2, then speed in RPM, and on the generator side we have measured generator voltage V2 in volts and generator current I2 in amperes. Now what we want to make the calculation? First thing, we want to find out what is the efficiency of this motor. What is the efficiency of this motor? Second thing, we want to find out the power factor. We want to find out the power factor. Third, we want to also calculate the slip of this motor. And fourth, we want to find out what is the torque produced by this motor, and then we are going to draw some graphs. We are going to draw the graphs. So first thing, we will see the calculation for efficiency of motor. First calculation we will do for efficiency of motor. Now in this case we are using the load test, and by performing the load test, what concept we have used? We have used the concept that we are starting firstly the induction motor, we are connecting generator as load on the motor, and then we are connecting rheostatic bank as a load on the generator. So whatever is the power consumed by the load, that is the DC power, and it is nothing but the output of the generator. So first we will calculate generator power output. Generator power output. Generator power output is nothing but the power consumed by the load. Power consumed by load. So this power we can calculate using formula V2 into I2. V2 into I2. We have measured value of V2. V2 is 155 and I2 is 1.2. 155 into 1.2. So generator output, if we complete the calculation, this power is 186 watts. 186 watts. So what is this? Generator power output. Generator power output is nothing but the power consumed by the load. So we have calculated this power as V2 into I2 equal to 186 watts. Okay. So this was the power developed by the generator. Now we want to find out the generator power input. Generator input power. So as we know that the efficiency is given as output upon the input, generator power input, we can calculate this as generator power output upon the efficiency. Generator power output divided by efficiency of generator. Divided by efficiency of generator. So generator power output we have already calculated, and it is 186 watts. So 186 watts, this was the generator output. Let us assume that efficiency of the generator is 0.8. We are assuming that efficiency of generator is 0.8. So with this efficiency, the generator input can be calculated as 186 divided by 0.8, and it is equal to 232.5 watts. 232.5 watts. So this is what? Generator power input. Now this generator is getting its electrical motor output, electrical motor output equal to generator power input, and we have just now calculated this equal to 232.5 watts. 232.5 watts. So electrical power output. So, electrical motor output. This output is no doubt it is in the form of mechanical power, but this motor output is 232.5 watts. Now we know that electrical input to motor is W1 plus W2, as our two wattmeters are having the multipliers as 2 and 4, we get this input as 560 into 2 plus 110 into 4. So this power is equal to 1560 watts. 1560 watts. 1560 watts. And once you get this input and output, then we can find out, therefore efficiency of the motor equal to motor output divided by motor input. So it is equal to 232.5 divided by 1560 watts. So this efficiency, by calculation we get this value of efficiency 0.14. So efficiency of the motor is very low because this is your first reading. That means at this reading motor is running at very low load, and therefore it is showing low efficiency, which is equal to 0.14, or in terms of percentage we can say that this efficiency is 14%. This efficiency is 14%. So how we calculate this efficiency? First we find out the output of the generator, that is V2 into I2. Then we consider efficiency of generator as 0.8, and we find out the generator input equal to output upon the efficiency. So it will be V2 I2 upon 0.8, and that we get as value 232.5. So now whatever is the generator input, it is nothing but the motor output. So we say that motor output is 232.5. Then to find out the motor input, we use the two wattmeter method. So total input power is W1 plus W2. The two wattmeters are having reading 560 and 110. With consideration of the proper multiplying factor, we calculate the input, and then we find out the efficiency of the motor as motor output upon motor input. So it comes out to be 0.14, or in terms of percentage efficiency 14%. Efficiency 14%. Then second calculation is for power factor. Second calculation is for power factor of the motor. So as we know that in three-phase AC power is given as √3 VL IL cos of phi. So power factor we can calculate as input power upon √3 VL IL. √3 VL IL. Input power upon √3 VL IL. Input power we have calculated as 1560 divided by √3 into VL is 412 and IL is 4. So this power factor, it comes out to be 0.54. So that is the second calculation for power factor, and it is 0.54. So induction motor, it shows a low power factor. As here we are connected a very small load, we get two calculations, both are showing comparatively low value. Power factor is 0.54, efficiency is 0.14. Now the third calculation is for slip. Slip is S is equal to NS minus N upon ns, where ns is synchronous speed, so we can consider it as ns is equal to 120 f upon p. So 120 into 50 divided by 4. This is the 4-pole machine. So this ns happens to be 1500 rpm. ns is 1500 rpm. ns is 1500 rpm. Once you find out ns, you can find out the slip as 1500 minus 1496 divided by 1500. So this slip is 0.0026. Slip is 0.0026. So again you can write it in terms of percentage. So it will be 0.26%. It is 0.26%. It is near about a no load condition. So slip is also 0.26. So you find out the efficiency, you find out the power factor and the slip, and now whatever remaining is how to calculate the torque. So for calculation of the torque, as we know that P mechanical is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. You can find out the torque T equal to 60 into motor output power divided by 2 pi n. So 60 into what was your output power? 232.5 divided by 2 into pi into 1496. 60 into 232.5 divided by 2 pi into 1496, and this torque after calculation its value is 1.18 Newton meter. 1.18 Newton meter. So like that, for each and every reading you have to find out the efficiency, you have to find out the power factor, you have to find out the slip and the torque. Once you complete all the calculations, you have to fill up the result table, and after completion of the result table, you will be drawing 4 graphs. One graph is for efficiency versus power output versus efficiency. Then second graph you will be plotting, it will be power factor. It will be for power factor. So again power output versus power factor. Then third, motor input current. Versus the power factor, and the last one you have to plot, that is the graph showing variation of torque with respect to speed, and also you have to plot this graph for variation of torque with respect to slip. So while completing this experiment, you should have 4 graphs and all the result tables, so that you can complete the analysis of the 3-phase induction motor by performing direct load test. Okay, so you complete all the calculation and then you plot all the graphs and write down the conclusion. So that will complete our third experiment.